Yup. One day later, just got a text. We're running your background right now. I said I gotta go. But you know what though? It was my fault that I chose to come to a starter company. I chose to come to a starter company. So that's what's gonna come in a starter company. You're gonna be well. He actually just texted me this morning and told me to clear off my window a little bit because they're watching the camera in my truck. They couldn't see anything. Um, I said, yep. And then, well, I got a text right before that said, hey man, give me a call. And so I'm going back to being an owner operator, and you know, um, going back to being an owner operator, and this is a company that, if you're a YouTube trucker and you're making money, this is where you are. Now, of course, I'm not gonna say where I am because, you got people out there who go above and beyond. You know what I mean? And it's not that you've done anything wrong, but this YouTube has brought me so many things, so many just like issues. Yeah, I would definitely say, yeah, definitely so, because I used to post all my gym stuff, and then you would have like guys commenting and stuff, and I'm just like still kind of like an old soul. You know what I mean? So I don't entertain that at all. You know what I mean? And I mean, you like for example, lesbians. I have nothing against lesbians. You know, I don't have any. Only I don't. That just that's I don't even want to speak on anything like that because it's not in my world. Well, lesbians sometimes are in my world. But they don't cause me any issues. You know what I mean? They don't hit on. Well, they do. They don't. I don't know. They don't. They're still women. You know what I mean? They were born with lady parts. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, yeah. I think I was probably thinking about these two model chicks that I spent my Saturday with. Oh my gosh. 3 actually. If y'all see, but it was a great day. You know what I mean? And I woke up the next day and I said, I gotta go. Not because I wanted to, but because I was told to. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So, I'm going back to being an owner operator, man. It's just, but like I said, coming back to a starter company was my decision. You know what I mean? And the only reason I did it was because I could live in Florida if I took this job. You know what I mean? So that's why I took it, honestly. But I didn't realize it was as starter as it is. Like, I started at Stevens Transport. This is Stevens Transport 2.0. Probably making less though. Probably making less stuff. But I mean, like I said, I put in my application. Very next morning, I get a call. We're running your background checks. And this is a company that all the YouTubers who make money work for. So I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but I'm sure you'll probably see me around the country somewhere. You know what I mean? Just you can say what's up. I'm really a nice guy. You know what I mean? I'm really a nice, respectful guy. People love me everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? The only people who don't love me are people are. You just have your types of people. But me personally, I haven't always, well, I was homeless for a while. You know what I mean? I was homeless for a while, and so I experienced the humbleness. I experienced, my car breaking down and walking up to a guy, you know, to ask him for $5 to get me to you know, so I can get back to the house, because clearly I wasn't making good decisions. So I didn't have any money at that point. You know, I was young and learning life lessons. And you know, he wouldn't even look at me, because but you know why? It's because I was in Dallas, and all you see in Dallas is people coming up to you like, hey, you got $5, hey, you got a couple of dollars, and then you thinking like, bro, I work for this money. If I didn't make better decisions than you made, I would be where you are. You know what I mean? So I understood that later in life. It took me a little bit later to understand it. But you know, like I said, so I don't see myself as better than any man or woman. You know what I mean? I just may not agree with your decisions. I may not, like, okay, like, for example, somebody who rides in a car full of drugs, speeding and smoking weed, with guns in the car. Being in the car with that person probably is not a good decision. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I think about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not better. I've made better decisions. I may have made better decisions. I may have made worse decisions. But I learned from my decisions. And I don't hang around people who aren't comfortable in their own skin enough to the point to where they gotta put other people down and feel better about themselves. I mean, you know, sometimes people do it, but you know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, I can't, because a lot of the pretty girls you know, people are just, I'm not the type of person gonna be like, man, that chick, ugh. You know what I'm saying? Or that dude, ugh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would never judge a man sexually, you know what I mean? But, you know, I'm not the type of person like, man, that dude, bro, you look fucking disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Or like, girl, like, get away from me. I would never even think to touch you. You know, I would never do anything. I would never behave that way. You know, I would just say that person is in a point of life to where I may not agree with the decisions that they've made to get them there, but I don't know their story and what led them there. You know what I mean? But that's just how I am. But anyway, yeah, so I chose this company. I started a company, so that was my fault. You know what I mean? Of course, they just started loading my truck. I mean, where am I? In Jacksonville, Florida right now. I've been sitting here. They usually, this is the first time in a month that I've sat, you know what I mean, not getting loaded. But, you know, like I say, I don't see myself as better than anyone. I just think that I've made different decisions, better decisions, some maybe worse. But, you know what I mean, the lesbians, they don't bother me. It's just, you know, I don't see a negative or a positive when I look at them. I don't try to approach butches or anything, and you know what I mean, I would never do anything like that. But you know, that's just what they do, you know what I mean? But women, a lot of women these days they like girls and boys, you know what I'm saying? But you know, and yes, you know, that doesn't bother me, because they're not going to bring, you know, it's just not going to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm a heterosexual male too, completely, bro. So just me and my experience and the type of people that, you know, I've been around or am around are really cool people, bro. Like, really just popping people. Like, always, like, all my friends, if you look at my Instagram, I'm the only one that's not popping. The only one. Well, I wouldn't say I'm not popping. I would say I'm very cautious, very I don't want, you know, I'm cool with the people that I do know. You know, I know they're not going to bring bullshit people around me. You know, and it's always going to be pretty girls, dope dudes, and you know, that's just how it is. Now, you know, some of them may be like, like, James, like, I understand you're nice, but we don't want them around. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, that's happened, you know. But, I just understand it. That's just not their social circle. But me, I'm the type of person, I'm looking at it as, okay, they made different decisions. I don't know if this is the type of group that you want to be around, but if you do want to be around these type of people, you might have to, your decisions have to change. You know what I mean? You have to take care of yourself. They're not going to want anyone around them. Most people it's just like a social circle. You know what I mean? It's just, if you were Jay-Z, are you hanging around homeless people all day? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? It's just reality. But at the same time, some people may not want, I don't have many black friends anymore. You know what I mean? And that's because, everybody's gone. You know what I mean? But, yeah, so like I said, people that I hang around are all popping, like, all of them. And, I know if I go around my bros, there's going to be pretty girls around. I know, if I go around, if I go party in Florida, or if I go party in Vegas or whatever I go do, there's going to be pretty girls around, dope dudes around. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's, heterosexual males and probably bisexual, not all of them, but some of them. But that just comes with that lifestyle. You know what I mean? And yeah, I've seen it all. I've seen it all for sure. Like last. Oh my gosh. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, man, we on the move. we definitely rolling out, bro. Like, I know you're gonna comment your negative stuff, but why? Because I'm just gonna block you and you're gone. You know what I mean? Like, just why? Just don't even watch the video at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep going, keep it moving. Go find somebody else like you, because you can never. You know what I'm saying?